So a lot of people talk about how nerve-wracking speaking graduation is with thousands of eyes looking down on them, and to say this is a little bit unique of an experience, I didn't quite anticipate, with only 2 cameras, but I think the difference is at real graduation, if I were to mess up, my mom would just film it, put it on Facebook, and I wouldn't ever see it again. But the difference here is I have no idea where this video is going to end up. So I hope I don't mess up, and I hope you all can take something from what I have to say today. But I'd like to emphasize the following digit I'm going to base my speech around today, and that is 1%. 1%. It seems a little bit odd, but that is all the difference necessary to distinguish first place from second. In the Olympics, 1/100th of a second can determine the difference between who wins gold and who wins silver. The runner on the upper end of that 1/100th doesn't only win 1/100th of the medal, but wins the entire thing. Such a little and otherwise insignificant difference can make a big difference in the reward, the difference between being great and being the best. Both are amazing outcomes, but the amount required to obtain the best maybe is not as much as we originally would think it is. Author James Clear described this phenomenon between better and best when he said, quote, "The margin between good and great is narrower than it seems. What begins as a slight edge over the competition compounds with each additional contest," end quote. This is evident in the way we are compared to and compete with others. However, a common competition we must first win is applying this principle to ourselves in order to obtain the best version of ourselves that we can. Oftentimes in life, we assume that to be great, we have to be flawless in order to obtain success. However, such is not the case. It is important to remember that in order to polish the best version of ourselves, we need to do so gradually and inevitably with setbacks. No nation that wins the war does so by winning every single battle, nor does every sports team win their respective titles by winning every single game, for the most part. It's a matter of not only finding solace in the small victories, but finding victory in losing. Indeed, true victory is the ability to learn and grow despite difficulties. A prime example can be found in our graduating class. With the students' permission, I hope to share an inspirational story. That is of Tyden Holverson. At the end of his junior year of football, Tyden tore his ACL. And after 2 surgeries, the harsh reality set in that he was not going to be able to play his senior year. However, instead of letting that experience define him, he redefined success and found victory in cheering on his teammates. I'm going to assume Ty did not dream of spending his senior year on the sidelines with crutches on, but he still attended every practice, every game, every training without fail. He didn't let that control him, and he found a way to still be successful by contributing to the team in a different way, even though it may not have been his first choice. It's also important to remember that the back and forth of gradual rises and falls does not happen quickly. The old proverb, "Rome wasn't built in a day," is a good reminder that the process to obtaining greatness is gradual. To many, this can be discouraging. Sometimes as humans, we seek instant gratification and seeking the reward before we give it all the necessary time and effort. It is important that we remember success isn't immediate and it is not always what we envision it to be. As high school graduates, we have our whole lives before us, the highest of highs and inevitably the lowest of lows. Such is life. The question we must now ask all of ourselves is what it is we want to accomplish and what habits we're willing to develop in order to realize those goals. Having that vision and determination will help us overcome what John F. Kennedy refers to in this year's theme as comfortable inaction. Stepping outside of our comfort zones is a cliche we hear often, and I hate to reiterate that here today, but it's important that we remember that growth only comes as we push ourselves and attempt to do things we otherwise wouldn't find possible. Part of pushing this comfort zone is learning to grow from failure. As uncomfortable as failure is, it can be the best teacher. With our whole lives ahead of us, it is what we make of it. It is up to every one of us to determine what it is that we will do gradually and over time. All it takes is 1%. We don't need to be 100% better in order to obtain the same rewards, just 1%. It is a matter of working 1% harder and growing 1% each day to obtain that edge that will benefit us no matter where it is our lives take us. Marcus Aurelius once said, quote, "Do not think what is hard for you to master is humanly impossible, and if it is humanly possible, consider it to be within your reach." I close with the following. We should shoot for the stars, but don't be disappointed when we miss. Rather, we need to pick up and shoot again the next day, becoming more experienced and inevitably closer to our dreams with every shot. Thank you.